cleaning up the gearbox. Look at that bad boy. Well, look at that. Nice. Nice. Okay. Right, see that surface corrosion there with this. Build a bit of pressure up. Coming up now. Here we go. Alright, we've started to clean the gearbox up now. Just give that a light blast. Blown down sand. I've kept the openings closed. The openings closed with the prop shaft in and the gear selector switch, so there's no contaminants got in there. And we're repairing this axle as well. Got these clips to fit where the brake pipe fasteners broke off, and this axle's going off for powder coat shortly, along with the bell housing, and this will be painted black. That will be given a coat of silver, then lacquer, try and get it to the original alloy colour. Okay, that's today's works on the gearbox and the axle casings. Alright, we're just on with the gearbox clean up and restore. It's been blasted back, Q-rusted there, blasted this the selector tunnel and this output shaft tunnel, and I'm just going to put some silver on there, some alloy silver. This will be in engine black, and then that will be powder coated, those three components there. So that's what we're on with today. It's sometime in June, I think it's 11th 2013, so gearbox restoration and some axle work as well, as you saw just before on the clip. That's what we're on with now. I shall report back. Starter motor stripped down, just checking the commutator there. Seems to be in good order. Just put a little bit of I'll put some silicone lubricant on there, give the commutator a clean. The bushes are all good, nothing burnt out, no carbon build up on them. So the starter motor's in good order. I'll put it back together now, and we're going to give it a paint, just spruce it up. So that's the starter motor, and then The gearbox is over there. What have we got? We've got the paint on. Started to put it back together. Some lacquer on and some paint there, then the black paint for the cast casing. Then we're going to get this done as well. Then that's the gearbox done. I've got the powder coat lid getting powder coated for the top. Looking at the gears, no obvious damage, no swarf came out, the oil was quite clean. A little bit of water in it though, I think that's from when it was stood. That's not been run with that in, so we're okay there. I'm just going to mop that out and then we'll put some new gearbox oil in and seal it up. I'm going to put some air on this, just if there's any dust, get that out. Okay, that's the starter motor put back together. Cleaned up those brass contacts, cleaned those little screws up there in some acid, scrubbed them down. Got it prime and coat in black paint. Just got to put the silver on the face plate there. We'll let that paint cure now. That's the lead cleaned up, boxed off. That's your starter motor. Okay, just putting the starter motor back together after the rebuild. Last bolt's going on there at the solenoid. Just tighten them 10mm up. Alright, pedal box rebuild. Had the mount box powder coated. That's come out really good. There's no rust on that, so they always come out good. Those there's your pedals, pedal arms. Got a new rubber on that one. So put all that back together now. Got the bag of bits. We've stripped it all down. So start building the pedal box back up. Then we'll stick that into stock. Alright, we've finished the pedal box. There's the finished article. Powder coated and reassembled. That's your accelerator pedal, rebuilt. And there's your pedal box. Just wrapping it now. Stick it into storage. Got it all rebuilt there. Wrapping that up. So it's looking nice and shiny, all gone back together. So that's a rebuilt pedal box for the Swampy. A few other parts been powder coated as well. It's your steering column support. I'm moving on now. Got another water pump, a brand new one, so if, just give that a clean up. That's a brand new water pump, cast iron one, a Ford one, so that's good. We might be fitting that, keep you one for spare. That's what we're on with, more components to reassemble. And we've got some stuff over here as well that's back. There's your diff cover. That was a new old stock one, better than the pitted one I had. So that's quite good. Some more suspension parts. I've had the wishbones coated because I wasn't happy with the chassis paint finish. It's more durable. That's good. There's an exhaust manifold in here as well. It's got high temp paint on it. It's been shot blasted and baked. Got the powder coaters. Crown wheel and pinion there, 377. That's for the diff. So more parts being done. We're stacking it all up now. Wheels are there. They've been done. Got a prop shaft now to clean up. This is a new old stock prop shaft. It's been on my green GXL. I've just put a different one on that. So this will get some, I'll give it a matte finish. Nothing major going on to that. There's no rust on it, so we'll just flat that back and give it a matte. That'll be the prop shaft done. So yeah, plenty of work going on. Here's a little tip for your Mark III pre-facelift clock calibration. Take your clock out, stick a 12-volt power feed to the back of it. I've used a little transformer there You could use a 12-volt battery, you could use a car battery charger, certain types car battery charger anyway. Some need a load across them to kick in, but most car battery chargers should do it. I've connected 12-volt feed up to the back of the clock. You've got your positive on the top pin if you're looking at it from the rear, and then your 9 o'clock position. Got your negative. I think you can put them any way around. I don't think there's a diode in there, but I've got positive on the top 12 o'clock pin and then negative on the 9 o'clock pin. That other post there is not used. Then you have an adjustment screw at the back. If you look, I'm holding the camera there, just above that letter N. There's a small brass adjustment screw. Okay. Now what you use is a watchmaker's screwdriver, flat blade, like that one. That's what you're going to use to calibrate the clock. It'll take a few days to do it. Maybe you're better off setting it up over the period of a week, because the adjustments are very fine and you might not see any difference immediately. It sort of loses time slowly or gains time slowly. This one was running fast. It was gaining about 3 minutes a day. So what I found was, if you go from the back of the clock, turning the brass screw anti-clockwise makes it go faster, and then obviously clockwise the opposite, slower. So what you do, work out if it's fast or slow, and then make the adjustment. Go for, initially just go for an 1/8 of a turn. So you're only very slight adjustments. If you're not sure how it affects it, just go small turn at first, 1/8 of a turn, or even 1/4 of a turn on that screw. Then leave it for a day and just see if it's gained or lost. And then keep bringing it in. You might have to go forward, back. Each time you go forward and back on your adjustment, you have to just check to see if you've overshot or undershot. But eventually you adjust it smaller amounts each time till you sort of home in on the right place. I got this one running exactly now. It's been a week and it hasn't gained or lost. It stayed exactly right. Use your clock on your computer, your PC, or a decent little quartz clock to keep track of the time. I've used the PC's time clock there just because it always seems to be accurate. And then eventually you'll get your pre-facelift clock to actually read right for a change. So that's a little tip. No point doing it in the car because you're in and out with the dashboard non-stop, so you really need to just take your clock out and go without it for a bit. And then that gets you that a little annoying thing where it's never reading right. It doesn't need to be. I think even when they're calibrated the best you can get, they're going to lose or gain over a few months because they're not the most accurate. It's not quartz driven, it's electromechanical. That's if your clock's actually working, because these can actually totally fail. There's a set of contacts inside here which charge the little solenoid, and it recharges by pulling down a little electromagnet. The contacts can corrode on those and you don't get it recharging at all, and you find that when you tap your clock it suddenly bursts to life. That's the little silver contacts inside. You can repair them. I've done one before. You can strip this clock quite easy and get to those contacts. You'll see them inside. I'm not going to do that on this video. This is just a calibration one, but they can be fixed. So there you go, pre-facelift calibration. I'm doing this whilst I'm waiting to build the dash up, so I can just leave it on the side of the kitchen table and just keep my eyes on it. So as you can see, that's coming up to 1/4 any minute now, and then on my PC it's also reading 1/4, so we're okay there. I'm going to leave it for another week. I think I'm tempted to just leave this alone now. If I try and get it any closer, I'm frightened to go over adjust it again, because the turn on the screw now I've got it down to virtually nothing when you turn the screwdriver, so I'm going to leave it like that. So yeah, calibrate your clock, it's not that bad.